I shot ya.
Hey guys, what's going on? So I'm here today with the much spoken about crack. Now, a massive thank you to Darklabs all the way from Poland for sending me out their crack. Now, the main claim to fame for crack is that it has 120 milligrams of DMAA. Yes, a very illegal stimulant, especially in South Africa, but somehow has found its way across the border, or across the seas. So anyways guys, now let's get onto the flavor first. I just want to clear that out the way. Now this is a very dark berry flavor and it is quite nice. It's more of a kind of blueberry. There is a nice kind of sourness to it as well. Definitely not bad, a lot better than I expected. And for me, that flavor got an 8 out of 10. I mean, I think the flavor was quite nice and something I honestly do not mind. Now, let's move on to the ingredient panel right here. Okay, so firstly, I just want to say that this ingredient panel is quite impressive because this is actually a great overall pre-workout, especially when it comes to pumps, which I will get into in a second when we talk about the effectiveness. So this is a 40-20 split. 1 scoop lasts you 40 servings, 2 scoops last you 20. Anyways, so let's get on to the ingredient profile real quick. You got your citrulline malate 2:1 ratio. Okay, well, let's work off 2 scoops because obviously that's what we want, the full effectiveness. So at 8 grams, next up you got your beta-alanine at 3 grams, obviously for performance and endurance, and citrulline malate there for pumps as well as performance and recovery, and also beta-alanine for recovery too. Next up you got your agmatine sulfate at 1.5 grams, that's high dose, also helping pumps. Next up you got your aluminum nitrate at 1 gram, and this also helps with pumps as well, and obviously that stacked together with the citrulline malate is quite a hefty combo, plus your beetroot powder at 1 gram as well, and also your novoline at 250 milligrams. Now, this is actually quite a pump powerhouse, and the pumps are really, really good on this. Super surprising for a product where people just assume it's going to be fuck crazy and just make you feel like you're on crack. I don't know what it's like to be on crack. I don't know. So I can only assume, pumps are in the mix when you're on crack. So with that being said, next up you got your collagen tartrate 500 milligrams. So it helps to focus, and it's a bit low. I would prefer to see 1 gram, but it's higher than some of the other doses I have seen around, so it's okay. Next up you got your caffeine anhydrous at 400 milligrams. That's 50 dose of caffeine, obviously for performance, alertness, energy. And then also here is the main one here, the 1.3. Now that's obviously DMA, a heavy and potent stimulant that has been banned, and we used to see that in the likes of the original Jacked. Here 120 milligrams. Now guys, this is not something to play around with. I do not suggest you using the full 2 scoops if you are quite inexperienced, but if you are an experienced user like myself, sure, but always use with caution. Don't mix with other stimulants. Obviously, that's the dangerous game right there. And next up, you got your canna, 25 milligrams. This obviously helps with fighting kind of the jitters as well. It's also improving your focus. Just kind of keeping a level head. I think that's the best way to put it, especially now with 400 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous and the DMA. It really kind of controls things, so you don't have too much panic and anxiety. And that's obviously the main thing for canna. It helps fight anxiety and stress. And then also you got your grains of paradise at 50 milligrams. And this again basically helps with sweats, helps keep things hot. So with that being said, quite impressed with the ingredient profile, guys. I was expecting just literally just stims. Obviously that calls to action the crack limited edition, which is a totally different beast. I was just thinking that, okay, well, it's just different flavors, but no, completely different beast. Now guys, effects. Now this stuff is fucking strong. And now this stuff isn't something to play around with. I would not suggest you using it multiple times in a week, maybe once or twice a week at max, because side effects of this does cause kind of weird heart rhythms, especially when you're going to sleep. So I wouldn't suggest using this like before bed because it will fuck you up properly. But with that being said, definitely something else when it comes to pumps, guys. Pump formula inside here really works super well, and dude, like I use this on leg days as well, and you're working on legs, man, but your chest is looking pumped. Like the pumps are really good. They are sore, they are painful, and I just really enjoy the pump aspect of this. It's very, very surprising to me in my mind. And then also obviously the energy is long, sustaining. And I think the most kind of shocking thing as well is that there's no real crash. You kind of have a prolonged sense of energy throughout, even once the training session is done. And that's the thing as well. Intensity is up, of course, but then you can train for longer, you can train for harder as well. I did feel that this caused more of euphoria than aggression. I think for me, the aggression kind of crack was the limited edition. That in my mind, that's how it works. I know some have experienced different effects, but to me, with everything said and done, it's a fucking awesome pre-workout, and I'm super blessed and privileged to be having it. And highly recommend it if you can get it. Obviously, these guys are not cheap, but that being said, so worth it. One of the best pre-workouts you will ever use. And as I said, not something to play around with. I wouldn't suggest it if you are sensitive to stims, or if it's your first pre-workout. Do not do it. You fuck yourself up properly, and then you'll probably get a bad rap in general when it comes to supplementation. So always be smart with it. I've been using supplements for almost 15 years. So, and even as an experienced guy like myself, I still find myself a bit teary-eyed because the stuff is really good. And one of the better pre-workouts I've personally used ever. I think energy and stuff, is amazing, and also focus can be slightly better, but you're just so energized that focus kind of comes into play as well. I mean, obviously you're powered up by the DMA and also the massive amount of caffeine and hydrous. I wouldn't say massive amount, but quite a high amount of caffeine and hydrous. So that being said, a phenomenal pre-workout, and just a big thank you once again to Darklabs for making this happen. It's a huge privilege, and I'm super excited to see what they got next. I know they are touting something new. I wonder what it could be. Obviously, I'm feeling another crack because this shit is so good. So with that being said, guys, overall, yes, expensive. Yes, for most people, you will do 2 scoops. Obviously people work themselves up to that, so value's not the best. But with that being said, it's something special and something you don't utilize every single day. If you do, good luck to your heart, good luck to yourself. But if you use it diligently, it will last you a long time. And I think that's probably the best bit about it, is that at least you take these gaps where you don't get too used to it. So yeah, with that being said, guys, one of the best pre-workouts I've personally used, and the overall score for this, in my mind, 9.3 out of 10.